Don't be sad, I know you A minor. C, don't give up until true love will find you in the G. That's it. True love will find you in the end. You'll find out don't be sad. Don't give up until this is a promise with a catch. Only if you're looking, find you. It's true love is searching too. I recognize you as you step out into the light. Don't be sad, I know you will. Don't give up until true love finds you in the Yeah, that was fun.
mature audiences. If you'd like to view a content warning before listening, please check out the episode description. The views put forth by our hosts and our guest reflect the speaker's opinions and not the official stance of Oddball Foundation. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Wright from Oddball Show, and I'm here today with Lori Mitchell. So let me paint a picture for you. So it was March 11th. I know because I have this book called Born to Read, where I'm chronicling all of Emerson's books, because I'm a dork like that. So it was March 11th. I know because I was reading this book, and I came across this book. It's called Different Just Like Me. And I've read a lot of books, Feelings, Chrysanthemum, Fleas, which was a really weird one. A lot of books. Then I came across Different Just Like Me. Now, I read it, I loved it, and then I reached out to Lori Mitchell, the author, and she is on the show today. But the very interesting thing is a lot of people like this book. So, and we'll get into it. So, Lori Mitchell is a native of Redondo Beach, California, graduated with honors from Art Center College of Design in Pasadena with a BFA in illustration, has since illustrated myriad projects, including 10 books. Her most famous book, Different Just Like Me, which Lori authored and illustrated, was featured on Oprah and The Today Show. Lori is active in the local art community, a member of the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, and a past president of the Society of Illustrators San Diego. One of her favorite pastimes is sketching in locations around San Diego with her friends. And also, she is the author of Different Just Like Me. Lori Mitchell, welcome to the Oddball Show.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to meet you here, Jason. I've been listening to some of your podcasts, and they're really fun and interesting.
Oh, thanks. I really appreciate that. Is there one that you can remember that was like, oh my God, this one's amazing?
There was one that you were talking to a dad of twins, and I'm sorry, I can't remember his name.
Oh, Sasha. Yeah. Sasha.
His take on the idea of mental health and so on. It was really interesting.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. We talked about internal family systems, which is this really interesting thing that is about like the brain, body, and connection, and getting in touch with your body through your brain and your parts and all that kind of stuff. Really interesting stuff. And I don't know if you know this much, but I'm a huge mental health advocate. And when I read Different Just Like Me, I think I fell in love with Different Just Like Me on the second page or one of the pages where you had the sign language. I loved the sign language that you put on that page because Oddball Magazine has been trying to get ASL poetry on Oddball Magazine for a long time. When I saw it, I was like, oh, it just looks so cool. And I think ASL is so cool. So I kind of want to go through this because it's such a cool book. And we'll talk more about what's going on with you and your what you're doing right now with all of your work as an illustrator and stuff. And I have some questions about like what it's like to be an illustrator and how do you motivate someone to be an illustrator. But let's talk about it. When you created Different Just Like Me, what was going on that made you want to write Different Just Like Me?
Yeah, so my daughter April has vitiligo. It's where you lose the color of your skin. Winnie Harlow is the famous model that has it now, that most people kind of know what it is, which is interesting. It wasn't like that when April was little. She didn't know one other person with vitiligo. I had never seen anybody with vitiligo. And vitiligo is different in different people, and sometimes it can just stay one spot, and sometimes it can spread and you can lose all your color. So she got it when she was 8 months old, and she started to lose her color. And it was like, I would put her to bed and she would be, certain spots, and she'd wake up and she'd have more spots.
Wow.
It was going that fast. So I had no idea what to do about it. And so we tried some different dermatologists, but because vitiligo is not life-threatening, and there wasn't really a lot of the schools, even the dermatologists don't even talk about it because there's not really there's treatments, but there's no cures. And so they kind of
Sunday afternoon, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. I woke up on Sunday. Sunday She should play her fiddle for this song.
Yeah, except they all the chords are made. But I can still play. I can stand like close to the mic.
It looks like
Can I use the whatever this is?
Oh yeah.
This is gonna sound awesome with fiddle. Good rock.
Okay.
1, 2. Ready?
I was gonna play that. I can just turn the speaker. I didn't think of that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
This is gonna be really cool. Okay. All right, ready?
I don't think I've plugged in. Doesn't sound like anything.
Turn her up a little. Does she turn up?
Okay, one thing I don't know. Yeah.
This is gonna be so much fun. Are you guys ready for this? All right, let's just start it like this. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Woke up to Sunday. Sunday maybe it was Saturday. Morning cartoon. Maybe it was Monday. Had to get up and go. Or maybe it was Tuesday. 'Cause I got drunk. Or maybe it was Wednesday. Yeah, flowers in hell. Maybe it was Thursday. I couldn't see the time. If I'm stuck today, got to get to work on time. I said to him, I'll give it a better try. So I'm down the street, 7 miles alone. Down to the top, right on my bridge. I'm drinking with James. Lady Lily. It's always my flying. After I'm through, it's a very good time. And I wasn't there, and I was. And I woke up. It's always 5 o'clock ahead. Bringing time for me. I've been drinking a chance. Lady, it's always 5 o'clock ahead. That's what I said. Took too many pills that night, and I woke up dead. And I woke up, so it's 5 o'clock. Yeah. Drinking time. I've been drinking with James. It's always 5 o'clock in hell.
I think I know that song. Who's that by?
That's me.
You wrote that song?
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah, that's what it is.
Did you guys record it all?
We recorded a million years ago.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Ready? Want to do one more?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
What are we doing?
I don't know. Let's do something like
That's it. Yeah.
is it good?
I think it's. Is it me? I think it's.
It's switch on the end.
Phone's on.
Do you?
So really, blow up your pocket there, buddy.
One more time. Alright, I'm just gonna play kind of a random chord progression. C, G, A minor, F kind of thing. This key is C area. Alright, so I'm gonna go like this. A minor. time when we're we all in a ride. Here we are again, losing all my friends. I'll see you sometime again when the sun shines again. Love is born again, so we can hear again. Let's pretend we can do it all over again. Do it all over again. All right. It's something else. We're soldiers on the show. You tell me what to do. It's like we're going regrets. Life is going to change. Sometimes a little strange. But what is it if not for remains? You one time again. We will find back again. For I met the medicine man. Took me by my hand. Walked me out in the field and I never spoke again. Educated my man. Oh, goddamn. Oh, goddamn. All right now, oh, goddamn. Yeah. Yeah.
You right?
I just made that up.
Just made it up.
Yeah. That was fucking awesome. I remember it. It was A minor and G. What's this song? I remember it. Like, it's A minor and G. It's just like, I don't know the word. That was like,
Oh, the speakers. I thought they were broken. it sounds better if you plug it in, but it sounds better if you plug it in, but it's definitely usable.
Oh, that's good.
The sounds good, right? Am I tripping? It's not plugged in, right?
No, it's not. I heard it fine.
I forgot. I had to use Oddball for years. I got one more. If you want one more. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right. No woman, no cry? No. Okay, here we go. Well, I need the order for this one, but yeah. No woman, no cry. C, G, A, F. No. Go to Campbell's for that one. Let me try some different. We're not doing one more time. Well, we go to the first part of that fish and then go into that. So, ready? Here we go. Don't cry now. since it came a few months ago. I got in the town that I live. Mom and my brother. No woman will cry. No woman will cry. And little sister, don't shed a tear. No woman will cry. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry. felt good about that. Quit crying. Quit crying. He's like, you guys want me in there? Okay. I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
You guys
You want to head out?
We'll have pizza here.
Yes,
You
I'm
want
gonna
to
go.
pizza?
Yeah, but that's like not as long.
Yeah, I love to do that again. Yeah. I wonder if it means you're at 4 a.m. something.
Yeah, my problem
Like
is
that work. I get one of my amps fixed probably. Guitar amp. That was the problem. I couldn't play my guitar without things. You just try to play around like recording like over itself. Just trying to play like, straight. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I was thinking like push.
yeah, it's the same chords as wagon wheel though.
Yeah. So,
I noticed. I was thinking of that.
push stuff. That's the push.
Yeah.
Well, that's also like that was also. Don't let the days go by. Misery. Sorry, Conrad. Proceed without you. Proceed without you. Oh, well, we've been playing for a while. We're here. Hey, go! Let's go! am Wu-Tang Clan.
All I have is a crappy hand. I want this. I'm gonna take it. Take what I want. Do what I want.
Intelligent. I'm intelligent.
And a good pickup.
That was really, really fun.
Yeah.
Your pops got smoking and he said no way.
Two parts a day. I'm just jealous. I'm a drinking Ellen boy. That was annoying. I said I was trying to get my guitar fixed. That wasn't a problem. So I couldn't plug my guitar. The other guitar we were trying to use was we should put in here, put in there. I have a small cranium. That might help you out. You have a small cranium. Small cranium. Hey, bring it along. Too bad I didn't do that. Hey, guy. Hey, guy. I thought you meant like a trumpet. Yeah, that's what. Actually, it's like a second neck.
You want to stay? He's gonna order food. Okay.
You want some? Well, I got both. That's anything on my phone. Well, you can't take this. Oh, just kidding. You're just gonna have to punch me in the face. Well, that's it.
I don't know. It's playing your guitar. He's trying to get as much as he can out of your guitar. Yeah, this has to go.
There you go. There you go. There you go, guy. Hey, guy. Hey, guy. Okay. Okay. Just take it, of course. Okay.
It's about to go like this.
Thanks, guy. Trying to grab my boots. I see the ladies walk by dressed in the summer clothes. 56 minutes. I have to turn my head and so if I learn that, I'll be at 7:30. I can probably hang out for 10 minutes.
You can do what you want. Whenever you want to. Do what you want. Whenever you want to.
How far away is your house,
It
Jason?
doesn't mean nothing.
Oh, okay.
Big nothing.
Say an hour.
You guys don't play music?
Yeah.
What is that song?
So do what you want. So you can do what you want to. Whenever you want to. Do what you want to. Whenever you want to.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, TJ.
Hey, do you think
The
we
song
could
is
schedule?
dedicated.
TJ, hey, this is really stuck in
Fly me to the moon.
there. TJ. Oh, that's bad. We're gonna play on the porch now. TJ, pull this up. Fly me to the moon.
Fly me to the moon.
Watch Fast Revere, Cage. What's up, dude? You get this out. Hold on. What is it? Is that
And so what I was trying to figure out was I wanted her to know that we're all different. She's not the only one that's different. And I think when she was little, I don't think she even noticed sometimes. But so as she got older, it started to become very apparent. Her dark skin is really dark and her light skin is white. So, but she wanted to wear shorts, and we encouraged her to wear what she wanted to wear. And I wanted her to be who she is and be accepted for, this is who you are. We're not going to change you or cover up or that was one of the things that you had been talking about, and I can't remember which one it was, the podcast, but talking about shame. And there's no shame in having vitiligo. And so a lot of the people that have vitiligo, we just went to the conference. There's the World Vitiligo Conference was in Atlanta, Georgia, and it's through the Global Vitiligo Foundation. And so we went and met 300 people that have vitiligo. So there was a whole ballroom full of people with vitiligo, and everybody's got a different story. But one of them is that the shame that you think that there's something wrong with you, and there's not. So I really wanted April to know that we're all different. There's so many things that are different. Different doesn't mean bad or good, or it's just different. Different is different. And so I really wanted that to be a name of the story. They tried to change it at the publisher. They were going to change the name. I'm like, why? Why do you want to change that?
What were they going to change it to?
That was the funny part. I asked, what do you want to change it to? And they're like, I don't know, but not that.
Oh.
Because they were long in the title. It wasn't catchy enough. And I'm like, well, that's too bad, because that's what it's going to be. So that's what started it. Well, I was inspired by my daughter. I went to school to be an artist, and so I thought I could do the drawings for the book, but I didn't think I could write it because I always had trouble with spelling. I was a terrible speller, and I was taken out and put in the special English class. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to be able to write this. But I thought, okay, I'll write out the general idea of what I want, and then I'll show it to my writer friends, because I have several writer friends in the children's lit community. And one of my friends said, it's fine. It's like, it totally makes sense. You just got to, check your spelling, a little bit of grammar, and you're good. So I was amazed that was even a possibility. And that I was just kind of thinking, I'm doing this for April. I kind of didn't know of where it was going to be in the world. But so now it's been out since 1999. And it's been all over the world. I've gotten emails from people all over the world that it's helped them, and not just with kids with vitiligo, but kids with all kinds of differences. And it's a way to open the door to talk about differences, so you can go into the classrooms. And that's really one of the things I did. So I went to classrooms since it came out. And so it opens the door that I get to talk about vitiligo, which is, you don't always get to. And I get to talk about other. So, and then you invite a conversation. And so all these kids get to talk about, it's been amazing. I mean, to go into the schools, and that some kids are like, I had some eye surgery that they've never talked about in their life before. And I have a little trouble with one of my eyes, or my grandma's in a wheelchair, or my dad has a certain condition. And pretty soon everybody's giving you these little bits of things, and it's just different, just differences. And that we're all different. So her teacher, when the book first came out, was really so good about promoting diversity and differences, and in the classroom, and acceptance. And if somebody's not playing with somebody on the playground, go play with them, and then come back after recess and tell us about it, and write a book on what you thought about it. And it was amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I have to say that, books like this are so important. And I think that, like, out of some of the books that I've read, I thought this was rather progressive for the books that I've read, especially from 2000, because I feel like people have really started opening up about some stuff, disability rights and all that sort of stuff. And they really started talking about, like, mental health in the 2020s. And before that, now vitiligo, that is something that you can see, right? You can see it, and it must have been difficult on April. How was it for her with in the very beginning with it?
Yeah, so when she was little, before she went to school, I made sure that she had a group of friends that knew what it was. And so it pretty much her and the people that we were around knew what it was. And as it progressed, you kind of don't see it anymore. But when I brought her to kindergarten, I thought, how is this going to go? Maybe people won't even notice. Maybe it won't even be a big deal. And I didn't want to cover it because that was a sign of shame. Let's cover that up. No, we're not going to cover it up. So, but how am I going to introduce her? She needs to. We went to the first night where you go at night and all the families come and just kind of get to know the school and the teachers and, just orientation kind of. And I thought, well, maybe nobody will notice. I was wrong. So there was kids that were pointing and mouth drop open, and it was very disconcerting. And I just cried because I thought, I don't know what I'm doing. How am I going to do this? I don't want her to feel embarrassed, but I want them to know who she is. And, all these ideas going through my head about how I was going to work it. So one of the ideas was I can send her to the office on the first day, and then I can tell the whole group in the class, look, this is what April's got. And, it's not contagious and you can't catch it. And she's just like you. And then I thought, no, because that's kind of that's a shame thing as well. I'm going to put her out of the room. Why am I putting her out of the room? So is that giving them the message that there's something wrong, that you can't talk to us in front of her about this? When she was little, she was really shy. So I'm like, I can't just put her up in front of the group on the first day and say, look, this is, So what we figured out was on the first day, would dress her in a real cute long sleeve shirt, some cute tights that kind of covered some of it. Really cute though. And then we would write a letter, but from her. So it was starting out as a person. I like macaroni and cheese, and I have a dog, a cat named Gizmo, and I like this, SpongeBob SquarePants, whatever. So it was introducing her as a person, and then, oh, by the way, I also have 2 different colors of skin. You can't catch it, and that was pretty much it. So we sent that out at the end of the first class, and there were no questions after that. So she was in the kindergarten class, so it was just with those kids. Nobody said a word. She made friends. She had a lot of good friends all through school that were really would defend her if they needed to. And there was sometimes. So she felt like she fit in and didn't feel shame and felt good about it. And then when she went into first grade, her first grade teacher was so good. She was a mentor teacher, and so she knew all these tricks. So I'll just share a couple of them, just if there's any teachers listening. One of the things was that she called April in the summer and said, do you want to come and help me set up the classroom? Which seems like such a simple thing. So any kids that have any kind of differences, they're going to feel nervous on the first day. She brought April in to know who she was, to meet the teacher, to find her surroundings, to know her seat that she was going to be sitting in. April could help set up some of the stuff in the classroom, so she felt comfortable with that. Then on the first day of school, they line up on the playground. They're all lined up on the playground. Everybody in the general population now, she's in first grade, so she's with everybody. So her teacher had April in the front of the line, and all that she did was put her arm around April. So simple. She didn't have to explain. She didn't have to say it's okay to touch her. She didn't say, I'm not going to catch this. She just put her arm around her, and then they all walked into their classrooms. She's got her arm around April, made such a difference. So, and they were able to talk about it. So it wasn't hush hush or hidden or, this is something that we should keep under the wire. It's okay to talk about. She's got 2 colors of skin. Some people would say, you look like a cow, or you look like a Dalmatian, or whatever. Mm-hmm. And she would say, I do. I have 2 different colors of skin, just like a cow or a Dalmatian or a beautiful dappled pony or a leopard or a giraffe. She had all the different animals that were just gorgeous that she loved. She would say it was like swirl. She would call herself Swirl Girl because swirled ice cream, chocolate and vanilla. So she had fun with it and wouldn't, so that if anybody tried to bully her and say, ooh, you look weird or something, she's like, I know I don't. Yeah. I look like a cow. Well, yeah, I look like the skin on a cow, maybe. Yeah. So. So just trying to talk about it. So the book helped with that, to be able to talk about it, but to talk to other kids at the school about all their differences. and that April wasn't the only one student that was different out of the whole group.
Well, this book, Different Just Like Me, I just want to keep on like talking about this book because I think it's so beautiful. I keep on thinking of this thing I want to talk about real quick is that I know someone in my family and friends whose daughter has a limb difference. She's young and my daughter's age, and she has a limb difference. I can't help but think that what it's going to be like for her when she begins school. And I feel like hesitant to even like talk about it, like why bring this into the conversation, right? But I feel like it's like important to ask, like, what is like some advice you'd give for someone with a limb difference or something similar to that?
Yeah, I've had some parents contact me. So actually on the website, so there's a website, differentjustlikeme.com. There's a part for resources, and you scroll down and it says family just dealing with differences. So all these little tips and things, I'm no expert for sure. So I was just learning on the job kind of as a parent, and we just found certain things that worked, and April figured out things that worked. So if they want to go there, they can, take a look at some of the different ideas of things that helped. But I think number one is to be able to talk about it. If it's okay with the parents, if it's okay with the child, and everybody's different. We all have different comfort levels of what we want to talk about or not talk about. But I know with vitiligo and all the different stories that I've gotten from parents, the more that they can talk about it and just put it out there and say, this is what this is and isn't. If you can get that out there the first day, it just takes all the sting out of it. It's like nobody's going to come at you because we've already talked about this. It's nothing new. You're not telling me something I don't know. And his parents would cover it that they were Indian, and it seemed culturally that it was more appropriate to cover it. So the parents thought it's going to be best if we can cover it. It was on his hands. And so he was in, I think, fourth grade, I think. And so he put makeup on his hands every day, going to school with makeup on your hands. You're a little boy. He would pull his sleeves down by the end of the day because the makeup's starting to wear off. He couldn't play. He would sit there with his head down because he just wanted to, disappear. So just his whole body language was shame. And so it turned out that because he wasn't talking about it, people started to make up in their heads what it was. Maybe it's something we're going to catch, or maybe, so he ended up getting bullied so bad that he had to move to a different school. At the new school, he's on the first day, can I just say this is vitiligo and I don't want to put makeup on anymore. I just want to be me. So he was brave and got up in front of the group and said, this is vitiligo and you're not going to catch it. I'm just like you are, and no problems for the rest of the school year. So it seems like the more that you can just talk about it, the more you can accept it yourself, the more you can love yourself. And that seems like what it always comes down to too, is the more that you can love yourself, the more that you can accept this. And it's just kind of a self-love and not accepting the shame that kind of people try to dish out. That's not mine to take. Nope. You hang on to that.
Yeah. And also, I simply believe the resiliency of the child is really important, and the general attitude, and just I don't care. This is how I am. This is how I am. This is where I'm me, and you're you, and that's it. Different, just like me. And then you have like the fighter moms, like you, or fighter dads or whatever, the people who like just go to bat for their children. And that's what it sounds like that's what you did with, not only did you like, you're like, hey, this is who you are and you rock and just do it and go for it. But also I'm going to make this for you too. Different, just like me. So what came first? Was it after you realized the impact of speaking to the teachers and, like just having April go into school and stuff, and you're like, you know what? We got something here. This is important. People need to be aware of this. And then you wrote Different, Just Like Me?
Before it came when April was 4 years old. We were at a Padre game here in San Diego, and there's 50,000 people in the stadium, and she was curious about everybody. So she's saying, how come that chair has wheels, and why is there a dog? There's some dogs here, with people, and can I bring my dog? So there was like all these questions, and how come that guy doesn't have any hair, and how come that guy's so tall, and how come that person, so there's just all these questions. And so I thought, well, we're all here at a baseball game. We're all just enjoying ourselves. Look at 50,000 people. We're all doing the same thing, enjoying this beautiful day. But we're all different. Look how different every single person is, that for whatever reason, we're all different. So that just kind of stuck with me, that there's got to be something there. And then as April was getting ready to go to kindergarten and so on, and her vitiligo was spreading and becoming more apparent, she was started Girl Scouts when she was 5, and got a really solid group of friends there that were just wonderful girls. But so I thought, how can I put this together? So because I'm an artist, the pictures came first. So I saw the pictures of how this was going to work, and then the words came after. Going to bat for somebody. So I promise you, April was bullied once by a second grader. She was in first grade, and she was bullied by a second grader. And she was able to tell me about it, because we would have conversations about, how are you doing? Is anybody saying anything? We would practice what to say if somebody did say something. So, if somebody does say something about your vitiligo, what do you say? And she said, I just have two different colors of skin. I'm just like you. So it was just a real quick answer that she was able to say. So when that girl, she came home, and we were able to talk, and I was glad that she could tell me that this girl had said that she didn't like the look of her skin and so on. I promise you, I was ready to go out the door, find that girl, and give her a talking to. So I really, really, really wanted to do that, because I know that April is a little shy, and that she's gonna not maybe stand up for herself. And I hadn't seen her particularly, she would say what it was, but she hadn't been bullied kind of like that before. So, but I caught myself, because I thought, I'm not going to be there every time. I'm not going to be there to defend her every time. She's going to have to defend herself. She's only in first grade, but she's going to have to learn how to. What would you do? So we practiced, and I was saying, okay, April, I didn't want to tell her what to do. I didn't want to go fight her battles for her. I wanted her to be able to learn how to fight her battles. So I said, April, what would you want her to know? And so she's like, well, I don't know. I want her to know that I'm just like she is. Okay, what else? I want her to know that I don't like her saying that, because it's not very nice, and it doesn't make me feel very good. So it was all just honest answers, and I'm like, okay, well, that seems fair. Do you want to just tell her that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm like, all right, well, let's see how that goes. With not really any faith that she was going to actually talk to this girl. So I kept in touch with her teachers to make sure that we were on the same page. I didn't want there to, I was trying to like nip it in the bud before anything ever happened. So I'm going to talk to the teacher, make sure they know what's going on, and we'll, keep on top of things. So I talked to her teacher, told her what was going on. She said, okay, I'll keep an eye on her. So April went over at recess, told the girl, I don't like you saying that to me. It's not nice. I don't feel, it doesn't make me feel very good. You can touch my skin. It's the same as yours, So her teacher let her call me after recess to tell me that, yeah, I talked to her. Yeah, seems fine. We're fine.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then she didn't have any trouble. Now, that doesn't mean that's going to happen for everybody all the time, if you do that. But it worked for April, and that she did feel empowered, and that she did feel like she could just say, I don't like that when you do that. And it worked.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, because I once again, it goes to the resiliency and like the problem solving of April, or any kid who's getting a little different when you're getting bullied. And I think maybe that's a good topic to talk about, bullying, right? That is a real problem that we have, that is pervasive, that is debilitating to kids' mental health. It sounds like that worked for April. And you were able to squash whatever was there with the second grader. I don't know how that relationship continued. Hopefully it continued well, and apparently April survived it. She's in her 30s now, so she survived whatever that was. But there's a lot of bullying, and usually it is. I mean, it could be your skin color, or your anything disability. Your hair looks weird one day. You have glasses on that are sideways. I know that my hat was on sideways and I got bullied for it. 2000s come along and that's the style. But anyway, like when I couldn't put when I couldn't, what's the word, put my turtleneck on just the right way and peg my pants the right way, I got the crap bullied out of me. Well, crap bullied out of me, crap kicked out of me, same thing. But but I guess what I'm getting at is these kids these days. I mean, I don't know if April doesn't have to deal with it as much anymore, but my daughter sure does, and she's 11 months, so she's not dealing with anything right now. But well, maybe she is. I don't know. But the thing is, I guess what I'm getting at is, bullying is this real thing, and with the age of social media bullying, like where do you go from there? When you have those conversations and you go to conferences and stuff, do people talk about this, like this real idea of how the kids can maintain their resiliency through bullying?
Yeah, so that is one of them, and the list of ideas. I think there's 18 different ideas on the list on my website, the Different Just Like Me website, under resources at the end. So all these different ideas, and I've talked about it at different conferences and to different parents about the different things that you can do. So yeah, I think I went to one school where they were having a bullying problem. There were some kids that came from Africa that had come into the school, and it turned into this big problem. And so there was a group of kids that were the bullies, and they were in the after school program. So they invited me to come to the after school program. And so I was talking to the kids, and you're thinking, okay, these bullies, they're going to be pretty tough characters, that it was a inner city school, and, they were the nicest girls to me. So we're talking, and I, they didn't say we're setting you down because you are bullies. They just said we have a presenter and she's going to talk about. So I was talking about the book, Different Just Like Me, and I was talking about April, and I was showing them pictures of April, and I was explaining why I did the book, and I said that she has 2 different colors of skin and that she'd been bullied. And I said, why do you think that she was bullied? And I just shut up then and just let them talk. And it was just kind of a small group. It was maybe 8, 9 kids. And each one of them had a really interesting answer. But overall, it was that they were feeling bad about themselves. And they didn't say, I feel bad about myself, so I'm bullying people. They were like, well, maybe the people that are bullying April feel bad about themselves. Maybe the people that are bullying April, maybe they're being bullied at home. And so it was giving all these tells of, well, maybe that's why you're doing it, So it did kind of open a conversation, at least, that we can have a conversation. There's not all bullies bully for the same reason, so there's all different reasons out there. And so this just opened the conversation. So not just a conversation for the person that's being bullied, but a conversation for the people that are doing the bullying. So you need to, let's get both sides of the story here and see what we can do. Honestly, get that out on the table and see what's going on, So It seems like a lot of it is down to the honest, let's just talk about this. And like what you were saying about your hat and your clothes and, wearing a certain thing. And I think bullies they'll zero in on what that thing is that they're going to find that you are ashamed of. And they're going to exploit that no matter what it is. It could be your fingers are too long, like all kinds of crazy stuff. And they're going, oh, I never noticed. Oh my God, my fingers are,
Yeah, right.
Like
right.
If you talked about it before, you might think that they're onto something. Well, you need to know that if they call you a tomato, doesn't make you a tomato. That's one of the things with April that I would joke with her about, because we would practice, like if a bully says something, if he calls you a tomato, are you a tomato? And she just cracked up. And then every time if somebody would say something like that, she would go back to I remember that's funny. That's not true. I don't have to take that in. If that's not mine, that's yours.
Well, I gotta say, I do appreciate that philosophy that you had that tomato conversation. Um, some people don't have that. Some people don't have that conversation. I didn't have that conversation. I'm not like I've been doing a lot of healing, energy work, all this kind of stuff, and trying not even bring up this stuff back. Before I went into the energy healer, I felt like I was wearing a big backpack that was just carrying with me, you know. And I just decided to cut the straps of all the crap that I've dealt with and all the people's perceptions of me and everything. And my resiliency came from all of that bullying to start Oddball. And yeah, Oddball has been omnipresent in my life forever. And sometimes it's a blessing and sometimes it's a curse. But there are going to be the kids who don't have their parents who say like, "Hey, are you being bullied at school?" They're not. They might just like start writing in their notebooks, drawing, and they might play their music. They might punch a wall or go boxing or whatever. They might become a bully themselves. It's really just it's just how you kind of manifest whatever that is, right? So like mine, I mean, literally Oddball. It's literally called Oddball. That is literally. I have a foundation. It's a 501c3 nonprofit, and people still look at like it's a joke because of the name, right? And although I'll break it down for you, Oddball is very simple and very literal. The logo of Oddball is a 3-ball because it is a odd ball, and a lot of the stuff that I do is very literal. It's very literal. It's not like I'm trying to be kitschy, like, oh, we're Oddball. Oh, we're so weird. You know, it's not. It's not. But the thing is, where all that comes from, all of that, you know, even like you said, like someone made fun of the person's fingers or whatever, you know, it is. If you don't have that built up resiliency or you don't have that boost from someone saying, what, someone's picking on you, either go talk to them or, you know, whatever. And if you don't have that, maybe you know it can go sideways, but then it goes back to that resiliency that you have, that kids tend to have. So I feel like it's definitely different sides of the coin. I applaud you, and I applaud April for the way that she handled herself, and she sounds like a really cool person, the way that she just handled everything that she was dealt with, and she's just like, I don't know, this is me, this is you, this is me. And but it's also just great that she had an advocate like you, Lori, that not every kid has. And not every daughter has a mom that goes on Oprah. I'm just saying. I knew I wanted to get to it at some point. I wanted to talk about it, but I don't really want to talk about it that much because I feel like you're probably like, yeah, you get talking about going and meeting Oprah, and I'm like, not like I'm like I want to talk about you meeting Oprah because I do, but I feel like there's a lot of more stuff to talk about. So before we get into you meeting Oprah, which is super cool, considering she's Oprah. I kind of wanted to talk about this too. Following your passion as an artist and an illustrator, like you illustrated this book. Like you were like, I don't want to have you. I'm guessing you didn't want someone else to illustrate this book for you. You wanted to illustrate it yourself, right?
Yeah, so I knew how, because I visualized it first and saw the pictures first before I even had the story. I mean, I generally put the pictures together as a story, but it wasn't, I didn't have the words. So I knew how I wanted to arrange the people. I knew that I wanted the backgrounds to be black and white. So the people are really, in the first part, it's all the people are just in color because I really wanted you to see those differences of all those different people. And then as you get to the garden with all the flowers, I wanted to have it kind of be that overall, like, yeah, we're just like all the flowers in the garden. It's been an interesting journey for to be able to have it go as long as it has, and to be able to talk to different moms and dads too around the world about different things that it's helped their kids to think about, you know, things differently. So yeah.
I think it's beautiful. So how did you end up getting to meet Oprah from getting this book? Like, how did Oprah get a hold of this book?
Yeah, so this is a kind of a crazy story, but I will tell you the crazy story. So when the book came out, it had just come out, and April wanted to go to the bookstore to get some books for herself. So we go to the bookstore, and there were some seats there that was for an author that was there that was doing a book called Write It Down, Make It Happen. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll just sit here and wait for April. So the author comes on, I forget her name, I'm sorry, but and she's talking about writing down your ideas of things that you want to happen in your life. So she said, write down 10 just crazy things. And so I'm just sitting there just being as crazy as possible. Like, I want to be on Oprah. Down on the page just one of my things, and I wrote down a couple of other things. Now, this is when Oprah had a book club, but it was for, novels and stuff, not children's books. But I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go see Oprah. Okay, so so I sent that off, and that was on a Saturday. She took it, when we were there, the author took it, and she said, I'll send this back to you in 6 months, and you see how many of these you can check off that would happen. Yeah, right. So that was Saturday. And then on Tuesday, I got a call from Oprah's producer. So I'm like, wait, what? No, this can't happen. So what had happened, it's so crazy. So she had a list of, at the end of the day, write down 5 things that you're grateful for. And so I started to keep a journal, and maybe for a couple of years, I had kept this journal of gratitude journal, 5 things every day. And it really did change my perspective. I was looking at all the negative every day, looking at the negative when all this positive was over here. So it changed my focus, and wow, what do you know? Every day there's this really great stuff that's right in front of me that I was not seeing. So I thought, because it's a gratitude journal, I'm going to write her a thank you note. So that's all that it was just a thank you note. It didn't say anything about my book. Nothing. So the producer called me because I had sent a thank you note, and he said, okay, tell me a little bit more. Tell me about your life. I'm like, and I was just out of my mind, you can imagine. I wasn't like, what? And so I'm like, yeah. So I did this book, and my dad was in the hospital, and it really helped me to get the book together, and I finished it before my dad passed away. And April was, told about the vitiligo and how it helped with that too. And so he's like, oh, okay, well, can you put together a video? And you have to send it tomorrow. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
And it was when video cameras, so my mother-in-law comes down, and she's like shooting the sky and the ground, and I'm like, it's awful. This is the worst video, but I'm going to send it. So I send it, and they're like, this is the most creative video. It's so arty. So it was me and April, pond and whatever. And so they're like, can you be on a plane tomorrow? I'm like, yes, I can. So I went, and so the show was about gratitude. So that was the main focus of the show was gratitude. And so they showed me painting the illustrations for the book. It showed the cover of the book. It showed April and about her vitiligo. And I got to talk for, a couple of minutes. I was in the front row of the audience, so I wasn't up on the stage, but I was right there, and she interviewed me, real quick, and then did the little video of me and the book. And so that was when it first kind of went from, it was like 500,000 on Amazon, which, if you know about books, that's not so good. You want to be closer to 1. And I got all the way down to after Oprah. But I didn't have a website. I didn't have a way to, for you to find it really. But that was really exciting. And then the one other kind of really cool thing that came about with that, April, my daughter, follows Winnie Harlow, the model that has vitiligo. One day on her Instagram, she had a picture of her hand on our book, Different Just Like Me. And on it, it said, my grandma gave me this book when I was 5, 7, something like that. And that it made a difference in my life.
Wow.
I'm like, are you kidding? That was like such a fabulous kind of thing, because she's out there, and she really has made a difference in the awareness of people knowing what vitiligo is and seeing the beauty. I mean, it's so beautiful. So yeah. And April does some modeling too.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, that's amazing. Like the one thing I can't believe is gratitude got you on Oprah, and 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 that is, I mean, if that's not like, hey, write in your gratitude book and make sure to thank people whenever they do anything for you. There's your story. How's life changed for you? Well, you said the book went from 500,000 to number one. How did life
Yeah,
change for
well,
you after that as well?
yeah,
Oh, from
well,
1,000.
but
You know what I mean? I know what you mean.
and then it kind of creeped back up. But so it's not like I've sold. I think I've sold 120,000 or something like that books, which is pretty good. That's good, and that it's still on the bookshelves, and then it's still doing good out there. So it hasn't like monetarily changed me a lot, but it has changed me a lot in that I can go to schools and I can talk to kids, and oh my God, I can't tell you like how rewarding that is and how much fun it is to talk to these kids. And they're all just wanting to know more about, we're all different, we're all alike. Look at all these different people. They're all just like you know, to be able to share that. And they'll run across the playground as I'm walking to my car and just like, hey, that's so cool. And I think your daughter's skin's really neat. And, you know, whatever. It has been so rewarding. And just to be able to get to know the different teachers and schools and really, really good.
And you're still illustrating all the time. I mean, your art is widely available. It's beautiful, by the way. I didn't really show. There'll be, okay, so in this video here that we have, this will be, I'm going to put a lot of images of this book throughout the whole thing. It's going to be a beautiful, I can't wait to do it. I'm excited. But also your other art is awesome. I saw something, I wasn't like scoping you out or anything, but I saw this really awesome thing that you did called like the right stuff or something like that. I don't know. It was just like some drawing of an astronaut that you had on your website, and then we'll put a link to your website on it. But I'm telling you, your art is awesome. It is super awesome art. And I know that you put like, and also like me and my daughter are super into stars and astronauts and stuff like that. So when I saw that, and it said like just right or right stuff or something, I don't know, whatever it said.
Write, WRIT, and it was for a writing conference that was at an elementary school, and I got to be keynote speaker. And so I'm like, I can make this little thing for you, and they're like, okay. So they ended up having T-shirts and stuff with that. And it was really fun. Yeah.
Oh, it's a
So
beautiful,
I,
it's a cool drawing. I love it. And I'll put it on here so you'll see what I'm talking about. Um, how do you like keynote speaking? Do you enjoy it?
I get a little bit nervous. I don't know if you could tell, but sometimes I get a little bit. But it's really fun. I get over my nerves pretty quick, and then just to be able to connect with the kids is so much fun. I never thought that I would be doing anything like that, but to be able to talk to, sometimes there's 300 kids in the room at the same time, and to be able to tell them the story and to talk about April a little bit and talk about vitiligo and raise awareness just about that and just about that we're all different. It's just it really is. I don't know. It's hard to put into words how much fun it is.
It is. It's kind of like having a podcast. Like podcasts, I never thought I'd interview you, Lori. I just read your book and I loved it, and I'm so grateful that you came on the show. And I hope that I hope that people just read this book. I mean, it's just a fantastic book. I have a couple. I have one more question for you. You're working on stuff right now. Are you working on anything right now? Is there anything that you're working on right now?
So I just did a giant mural, which I never thought I would do either, but I did small watercolor, and then they take those and they put them on these panels. So they blow up this little watercolor and then put it on these great big panels for Warwick's. It's a bookstore that's 125 years old. It's the oldest family-owned bookstore in America. And so it's on the back, all the authors that they've had, not all of them, but some of the authors that have been there are, so that it's on the back, 20 different artists or authors. And so another company, it's the fire company in fire department in Otay Mesa, which is down here by the border. They're building a new thing, and they saw that, and I was gonna do firemen portraits, and it evolved and changed, and now it turns into landscape. So now it's another mural that's going to be these big panels of watercolor. So as an
Oh,
artist, I think,
wow.
you know, as a creative, you're a creative, there's always different avenues and different things that just kind of come to you. This just kind of came to me, and it was I really had fun doing it. It wasn't anything I thought I would ever do. Same thing, you know. but it's really fun. I would show you, but I can't show you yet because it's not up yet. But I'll send you.
Oh, thank you. I do want to. I know I respect your time, but I also just like respect you as an artist. I kind of want to dig your brain. Just a little couple more questions. So as an artist, do you feel like that is like really like, because it's such a talent. It's such a, like, I'm a writer and it takes me 15,000 words. No, not that. It takes me a lot of words to put together a poem to make you feel something. But you could, the illustrations in this book, or just like the murals or something like that. Like, first of all, where like the talent is such a talent, to be an artist, but to be able to like see your art on a mural and like, it's like having like a billboard, you know, of like your art, and it's permanent. That's beautiful.
It's really fun. I get in my head about my art sometimes, and when I was doing that book, I proposed it before I had done anything in that style exactly, and I started to question, like, oh my God, I promised them I'm going to do this whole book, and I'm not going to be able to do it, and I'm terrible, and why did I even choose to, tell them I could do it? I can't do it. I don't know what I'm doing. And I would work at 3 o'clock in the morning or so, because while April was sleeping, I would work. And so I remember getting the word hubris kept coming to me. Hubris. What does hubris mean? I can't remember what hubris means. So I look it up, and it's pretty much full of yourself. Well, that's interesting. I was feeling kind of full of myself. Like, I'm so good. I'm so bad. I can't do this. And so what keeps coming to me now is just do the work. Just do the work. You don't have to judge yourself if you're good or you're bad, or that it's gonna, whatever. I get in my head about it too much, and I think, what's somebody gonna think about this? Is it gonna be good enough? Whatever. So I tell myself then, when I start to go there and get in my head about something and this isn't working and I don't know, I start to just go, just do the work, just do the work, just do the work. So that's how Different Just Like Me came together finally, was just do it. Just do it, keep going. If you don't like something, put it aside and do the next one, do the next one, do the next one. So that's how I work now.
All right. Okay. So that brings me to one other question that I was thinking of is the writing process for you and the art process. Now, like one person I interviewed once, Elaine Hall, she said that she wrote at night, like after everyone was asleep, that she wrote, I think she did like a meditation and then she would write. But then I interviewed like another person, and they would do it in the daytime, like after their cup of coffee, and they would write for 500 words with this idea of like, I'm gonna do it every single day, 500 words. And I think there's a lot of dedication to the craft of writing. For me, like, I don't know, I write because I have a deadline. I write a bunch of poems and I have a deadline every Tuesday. But it's a different thing that like you're actually like like putting a book together, and then you had to go through the publishing process and stuff. So you were, all that kind of thing. What was your process, and like, how did you motivate yourself to do it? Like, did you have like a strict, like, I'm going to do this like three times a week or whatever?
But to write the book, writing is like pulling teeth for me because of my problems with mixing up letters and stuff, that I've always told myself that I can't write, and it makes me, oh gosh, I don't want to write. So the writing part, that's tricky. The thing that kept me going on that one was that it was for April, so of course I'm gonna do it.
Beautiful.
So it would be this sitting down every day and just getting it, just do it, just do it, just do the work. As I had the pictures first, so I drew the pictures kind of first, I sort of could lay it out. So I had on my wall a foam core, and I would just stick the different pages to figure out the flow and to see the way that it would work. And then I could put the, it's 100 and I don't know how many words, I'm going to say 200 words or whatever. So it's not a lot of words, but you got to make them all count. So just trying, make sure that works. I'm going to say I'm not really a writer. I'm not going to probably be writing a lot of books, but I do want to do more illustration. I've illustrated, I think, 10 books. I'll show you what I do for my illustration part of it. So see up here? There's all sketchbooks. So this is what I do. to try to keep doing my artwork. So every day I do artwork.
Oh my God, look at those. Those are
So I
beautiful.
draw people and draw things. When I go out, my husband and I go out for coffee every weekend. So we go draw. So I draw
Oh.
whatever's just kind of, but if I can keep drawing and if I can draw every day, then when I get to do,
that was Notre Dame. Was that Notre Dame?
yeah.
Yeah. Have
So
you been to Notre Dame?
Yeah. If I
Yeah.
can draw every day, then when I have to sit down and do my project, I'm not as freaked out. Like if I haven't drawn for a month or something and I have to sit down and do a real paying project, it freaks me out. So if I just keep going, it kind of keeps that momentum, you know. I have this in my purse. So I have this, I have a little travel watercolor and a water brush in my purse. So even when I'm out, you know, for whatever reason, I've always got a way to draw.
It's such a crazy talent. It is like, I mean, not crazy, like, trust me. Can I show you? I was trying to draw the other day. I was trying to draw the other day a picture of my daughter in her Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt. Really cool, really cute. She looks super cute. She's got a bow and everything. And I was trying to draw it and I was like, oh, well, I'm going to try and extend myself into something different here. And I figured I would just, try and because I can write anything about anything, and I've written a lot. Like I love writing, and I can write children's books for days. Like it's just like so easy for me. But like, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not saying like.
No, I get what you're
Anyway,
saying.
like,
Yeah.
this is the drawing. Hold on, this is the drawing of my daughter. All right, she's wearing the Red Hot Chili Peppers shirt, and there's her bow. And my and those are, see those right here, those things, right? Those, that's like her. Yeah. Those are the subtleties of her cheekbones. I never learned how to draw. But
that's good that you're trying to do that. I love that you even did that, and I love that you showed me. It's so fun because you'll remember that moment with her that you drew that picture. That's all my sketchbooks. I remember the moment. I remember the smells. I remember the taste of whatever it was I was eating. I remember the feel of the weather, just because I'm looking at that thing that I spent time doing. So it doesn't matter what comes out. That I don't care that anybody sees my sketchbooks. Just that you did it.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And that's good advice for any artist. I literally had someone on the podcast talk about I like her. She's great. She's a poet, and poets are like, she's a very nice person, and she's a writer, and I had a great conversation with her. But poets are a lot different than artists, and poets, not her, but poets in general are different than I think artists in many ways. I'm a different poet than other poets. I think poets take themselves wicked seriously. Do you take yourself seriously as an artist?
No. So I just say that really quickly, but I teach classes. And so one of the things that I try to talk about is that don't take yourself so seriously, like to have some fun with it. And that we don't have to play by the rules. There's so many rules with art, so many rules that you think that you have to follow and you don't. So break the rules. I'll show you what the rules are so that you know what they are. And if you want to follow them, go for it. But let's see what we can do if we kind of break some rules. And a lot of my stuff is very not serious compared to what there are really serious artists, and there's nothing wrong with that. To be a serious artist, great, serious poets. We need serious poets. But I'm not one of them. Like I'm not going to be one of the serious artists because that's just not who I am, and it's not fun for me. That's not fun for me. So like drawing while that's really fun. Drawing when I'm at a coffee shop, finding somebody interesting with a weird beard or, eating some kind of weird sandwich, that's fun for me. And that's what, so that's what I had to kind of come to. I had to figure out what's fun for me. I don't have to do stuff that's not fun for me now in my stage in my life. Let's do something fun.
Yeah. And also like the idea of of being good at something, right? Like when you start something, you kind of suck at it, right? You suck at it, or maybe you have like a inkling of talent, right? But if you, I mean, what is it? Kobe Bryant said, or whatever, 10,000 hours towards your craft, and you will start to put something together, right? And I really do feel like, I think that's the message here is like keep on but when it comes to poetry, there's this whole thing about submissions, and you send a poetry, you send your poetry, you work hard on it, and then someone sends it, and then they say this is not good, and it can set you back. I don't know if they have that vibe in art as much as they do, or do they, or
And that's kind of where I feel like I don't really fit into a category, like there's the watercolor society. I don't really do that. And there's different, kind of different artists, and I'm kind of like an illustrator, and you're supposed to be a fine artist. There's all these different labels and things where you're supposed to fit in or not fit in. So I'll try sending my stuff out to different shows, and I get into shows, but there are the rejections, and I just gotta, okay, then it didn't work for whatever that was, and let's move on to the next one. But it's tricky sometimes.
well, that'd be crazy if we did a collaboration sometime on some poetry, and like I have this one thing that I have called if you ever find it and you're like, hey, this is okay, it's called The Lonely Boy on Christmas. Copyright 20 or whatever. Lonely Boy on Christmas. I love it. I've always wanted to get it illustrated. I'd be like, I have no idea how to do that. But if you ever want to take a look at it, that's cool. But honestly, I just want to say, like, it is really good to my listeners to have a passion and to also have a mind of advocacy at the same time, or a purpose. And then eventually your purpose becomes your passion becomes your purpose. And there you are, you're making murals on this, in California, or making books of poetry on online, but or having a podcast, and I think that all of these things are passion projects, and some of them maybe one day you'll meet Oprah.
Yeah,
Is that the
that's how
takeaway
the
here?
project came about, because I was posting stuff on my Instagram when COVID happened. And so I was posting coloring book pages for kids, because I thought parents don't have stuff to do with their, what can I do as an artist? I can post coloring book pages that they can print out and have their kids, do that. And so somebody from Warwick's saw one of those, and then I ended up making a coloring page of the front of the store, and then that turned into the other stuff for Warwick's, which I've done several things for that store, and I love them, and it's been really fun to work with them. But it's that kind of thing, you follow, where's the need, and
Yeah.
where can you do the work. That's, I keep hearing it, just do the work.
All right. Lori Mitchell, thank you for being on the show. I know you're saying doing the work, but do you have any last inklets of advice, words of wisdom, or anything like that you want to impart to my listeners?
Yeah, just what you were saying about the 10,000 hours. There's an Ira Glass video that, if you can go to YouTube and find it, but it's generally, he's saying that once you start, you have really good taste, but you don't have the ability to match your taste level. So those aren't lining up. So you have to wait until, like, just keep doing it. And then pretty soon your taste level will match up with your ability. So just know that you have good enough taste to know that you're drawing crappy stuff. Just know it.
And then last question, what book are you reading right now, or what's something that you would recommend, or something that you are reading right now?
I have it. Oh, I do. This is the book that I'm halfway through now. It's Rick Rubin.
Oh, that looks so cool. I saw that. Yeah.
It's really good. It's he's in the music industry, but it's about creativity, and I relate on so many levels. I've got a bunch of little markers in here, because there's so many little things that mean something to me, and then I can share that information with my students, and it's just motivating and exciting, and I love it.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Well, okay. And where can we find you if we want to find you? Where can my listeners find out, reach out to you, and that kind of stuff?
So you can find me at LoriMitchellArt.com. There's differentjustlikeme.com. That's with the book and more information about the book. I'm on Instagram, Lori Mitchell Art on Instagram. And I teach at the Athenaeum. It's Zoom class, so anybody from anywhere can come and join us. But I teach pen and ink and watercolor on Monday and Wednesday. It'll start again in September, I think. It's called the
Are you
Athenaeum.
serious? Anyone can join you on your Zoom classes for free?
Yeah.
For free?
It's a paid class, sorry, but they do have scholarships. So for anybody that you just talk to somebody there and see
So
what
there's
you
paid
can.
classes. So if you're an artist and or if you're trying to be one like me, you can check out Lori Mitchell's Zoom classes, which she just offered there. And there's scholarships available. Wow, it was really delightful having you on the show. Thanks for coming on the show. I really appreciate you being on the show. And yeah, different, just like me. Who knows? Like, it's a journey, right? So,
Keep doing.
so everybody, I want to thank Lori Mitchell for being on the show. This has been Oddball Show, and we'll see you real soon. Phenomenal book, really. I read it, I loved it, and that's the power of the local library. And maybe if there's a tale here, go to your library. Honestly, it's a free resource. You can get any book you want at the library. The fact that we have libraries available that you can just get whatever book you want, and you can find a book like this one that's so incredible. What a resource. I mean, I know it's like, oh, go to a library. Like, no, but honestly, go to a library. Why do you not just stop this podcast right now and run to your local library and get as many books as possible? I went today, and I'm pretty sure my librarian thinks I'm certifiably insane because my daughter is 11 months old. But it's pretty cool. I got this book for her before she was born. It's called Born to Read. Our first 5 years in books. And I'm proud to say that it's like pretty cool. It has like special guest story time and stuff like that. But the first book we read was so she was born on July 28th. And the first book was August 5th, 2022. Snuggle Puppy. Not bad. Snuggle Puppy was read. And the notes are very simple. Mom, dad, heart, whatever. And then I really got into this book called Steam Train, Dream Train. That book just rocks your socks off. I read it a bunch of times. But then I started going to the library, and then the books started piling up. So now a lot of stuff happened in this 1 year. Very interesting. So this book, right, on the March 22nd, my daughter Emerson's grandfather passed away. So we put like a frowny face and Papa on that day. And, Father's Day happened, and we put like by the way, this Shea Bob, 3 stars. Fox and Socks. Oh my God. 3 stars all along. But I kept on reading it over to The Giving Tree. What a book. Celtics ABC had to read that one. Her mom gave us Berenstain Bears. It's great. I read Fox and Socks again on the 8th of January. Let's see. I think I read Fox and Socks a bunch. If you've ever read Fox and Socks, it's a fun book to read. But yeah, there's been some really good ones. And then when Where the Sidewalk Ends, I read that forever. A Storm Called Katrina, that was a good one. 4 stars. I wrote 4 stars in that one. And then I keep on reading. Let's see, we're in January. So by the end of age 1 to 2, you're supposed to read 365 books, supposedly. But by then, I was in year 2. The Little Red Barn. I mean, some of these kids' books are easy to read, so it's not like I'm like doing anything different. The Butter Battle book, that's a Dr. Seuss book. That's a great one. Dr. Seuss's Sleep book. That's a tough read. I only read it once because it's it'll put you to sleep. Read Snuggle Puppy again on February 23rd. And then let's see, Make Way for Ducklings, classic. The Amazing Bone. That one will scare the shit out of you. I don't know if you've ever read that one, but that one is terrifying for kids. I wrote that. Harlem Renaissance Party, 3 stars, loved it. Different, just like me, 4 stars, 311. And look, I just interviewed Lori Mitchell. She was fantastic, so super cool. Waiting for Wings. I was on March 17th, we got so deathly ill. That was St. Patrick's Day. Some people got drunk. No, me and my wife and my daughter got so sick that we were sick up until March 22nd when my father-in-law died pretty suddenly, actually. And then Emmy Cranky, it begins on 4/3. Keats Neighborhood, that was a good one. Anyway, it goes on. Star Child, that book was awesome. I literally wrote awesome. Let's see. The Velveteen Rabbit, Emmy wiggled all over the place. And then we started reading Winnie the Pooh for a little bit, How to Write a Poem. That one was good. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. That one keeps up. And then Migrant, 5 stars. The Friend, that one was good. It keeps on going on. Let's see, 610 there. So let's see. Under the Sea, M loved this and laughed. Read the second book of Winnie the Pooh. And by the way, then we did the Oddball show about Winnie the Pooh because that was interesting, right? You know, A. Milne. A is for Advocate. Love that book. I got that. I don't know where I think I got it at the library, and I just read it to her all the time. Gladys and the Magic Chicken, July 4th, 4th of July. Great book. Anyway, I don't know what 365 plus 308 is, but that's the amount of books that we've read to her. That's pretty good. 308, I don't know, 600 something. Anyway, read. Go to the library and read. Finally, last thing I'm going to plug is Oddball Festival happening August 13th. It is at the Mansfield Mass Art Center. You got to go to it. This is going to be awesome. It's going to be a bunch of advocacy organizations talking about mental health and wellness advocacy. We're going to talk about, we're going to have a bunch of poetry performances. I'm going to perform. I don't know if you want to, I mean, you can, whatever. And then also, we're going to have some live music from some awesome bands. We got Sir Ian, we have Eric Salt and Erica Mantone. We have the Speakers Bureau coming up. We have a lot of things. So it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have some food trucks. Anyway, that's gonna be a great event. If you like what you're listening to at Oddball Show, I really do appreciate your listening. And I do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. And if you're listening to this far to this podcast and you're still hearing me ramble, God bless you. Anyway, I really do appreciate you for listening. I appreciate Lori Mitchell for being on the show. A phenomenal artist. Really, with the YouTube, you're going to see all of her art. It's phenomenal. Wow. I guess the takeaway is everyone's different. Everyone is, I mean, no shit, right? Everyone's different. But like, honestly, the thing is, pursue your passion and advocate. Pursue your passion and advocate. Maybe you'll write a book like Different Just Like Me and help out not just you and your family, but also thousands of other people. And hey, you just might meet Oprah. That's pretty cool. And on the flip side, read to your daughter. Go to the library. On cold nights, read to her before bed, and then reach out to the author of the person of the books you admire, and maybe they'll come on the show. So there you go. My name is Jason Wright. This has been Oddball Show. Be well, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Don't bully. Bullying is not good. Okay. And read a book. This has been Jason Wright. Oddball Show. We'll see you real soon.
If you liked what you heard in this episode, learned something new, and want to stay up to date on what's going on with Oddball Show, please consider liking this episode and leaving a review. Subscribe to Oddball Show on YouTube, Buzzsprout, or wherever you get your podcasts. And check out oddballmagazine.org for more fascinating stories, poetry, and art. Thanks for listening.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. This is Jason Wright, aka Man the Storm, with Nick Jacobs, aka Floral Grace. This is Oddball Show. Sit back and enjoy. Hope you all had a good day. Mine was incredibly busy. I'm sure yours was too. Yeah, so tell me about your day. Let me talk about mine. Here we go. I woke up, got out of bed, shook the dust right out my head. I looked around downtown and I looked and what did I see? I saw red with the books I read. Anger is a force with no remorse. So we sing our songs to the great beyond. Yeah, I guess I have to rap a little bit, cause my day was kinda shit, but I keep it on cause I gotta admit, cause I got my mad rhymes and I do it like this with my friend Nick. Yo, it's Man the Storm, or Sense One. Well, we're here to perform. What have you done to when I sing a song? Might sound off key, but I don't care, cause it sounds good to me. Full graves, Man the Storm, Friday night. Full graves, Man the Storm, Friday night, where you at? 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope. 25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope. I realized quickly when I knew I should that this world is full of this brotherhood of man, whatever that means, whatever that means. So I take a look and I go outside and I take a deep breath and I get real high and I say, oh, what's going on? I go outside and I take a deep breath and I say, hey, what's going on? Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, 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 Here we go. Rising out of sleep, put my shoes on, and I'll say my prayers to keep. Gotta get a good reason why to get out of bed. I can listen to Sublime, Tribe Called Quest, and Radiohead. Don't forget the Grateful Dead. Come on. Early in the morning, rising out of sleep, light me up that cigarette and I'll strap shoes on my feet. Got to find a reason things went wrong. Got to find a reason why my money's all gone. I got a Dalmatian and I can still get high, and I can play the guitar like a motherfucking ride. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. Bum, ba, bum, ba, bum. I got a Brainiac record. Give it for me a second. I really like the sound. You gotta mention every song on the album is sick. It's Man the Storm with Nick Floral Graves and Man the Storm. Floral Graves and Man the Storm. Early in the morning, rising out of sleep. Yeah. Light me up that cigarette. I strap shoes on my feet.
Salt water, it is really nice. I could really go for some chicken and pork fried rice. But I'm trying to do better and not eat that shit all the time.
Pork fried rice is twice as nice. I like pork fried rice a lot.
time I try to rap, I just talk about food that I want to eat.
When I look around the house and I see only books, I'm wondering what's going on when I get those dirty looks. Do you remember Oddball Festival? It was August 13. What a pretty dope day. Best I've ever seen.
Everybody broke down and all their stuff to record time before the store rolled in.
Rain came tumbling down. Rain came tumbling down. Rain came tumbling down. Rain came tumbling down. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna get some feedback because I'm looking at the live. I got an advocate, yo, I got so much drive. Wondering if I'm wise, if I realize, if I try advocacy. 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 Yeah, we're live on a Friday night. It's Oddball Foundation and we're feeling all right. We got a mad time writing the rhymes. I got the microphone mine ever since I was 5. I got a beat in my head, that's what I do. I got the mad rhymes kicking every time with my shoes. And you just can't lose. Come on. A whopping 0 people watching this live stream, but that's okay because I scream, I scream, I scream, you scream, we all scream. For Man the Storm and 4 Grays on a Friday night. Rage Against the Machine. It rhymes with ice cream.
It does.
Here we go.
I'll tell you what, if Jace hears ice cream and then I say no, he's gonna rage against the machine.
Dad joke number 1.
It's actually pretty bad.
It's a good dad joke. Ready? No one's listening to this, but I think it sounds dope.
Yeah, I like it. Primus right now.
It sounds dope. Are we live on Facebook right now?
I think so, we were.
You want to share it? I just kicked the microphone. I used to be a little child, so old in my shoes. I used to be a little child, so old in my shoes. The killer in me is a killer in you. Oh. The killer in me is the killer in you. Oh. I used to be a little boy, so old in my shoes. And what I choose is my choice. What's the boy supposed to do? The killer in me is the killer in you. My love, my love. I used to be a little boy, so old in my shoes. I used to be a little boy, so old in my shoes. Do you remember where we used to sing in the government shawl in Trenchtown? On the opposite band, the hypocrites. Oh, while we're on board with the good people we made. Good friends we've had, good friends we've lost along the way. In this bright future, you can't forget your past. So dry your tears, I say, to the, yeah. Welcome everybody, it's Friday. You got your drinks, you keep it all J. You're rhyming on the microphone, what you gonna say? It's an Oddball show every single day. We are mad live, living and truest, rhyming all the time, cause you know that we can do this. It's so easy to me. Been number 3 ever since I was 15. With Oddball magazine, you know it was a teen dream, but the foundation is across the nation. We just keep the microphone on and off. We rhyming mad times when we kicking and rolling. When a microphone I kick down the road, everybody wants to know when you're gonna explode. You got the Myro, my Shireen, I got the my Sharona. Every time you're down a Oddball, looking around the radio. Everybody wanna hear my flow, cause you let it go when you are talking low in you. I know you're talking about me, so when I, yeah. Yo, they called me winner a long time ago. I guess it's stuck cause I couldn't give a fuck every time that I look. Because I look around, but I'm just stuck in my head. Cause every time instead I am red, and when I'm red down, I'm rhyming lost and found. The Oddball show kicking live for 22 minutes now. Now tell me what you got to do with the rhyme, because the microphone shines like a diamond. Yo, a mighty, mighty boss stone home alone on the microphone because he can't condone. Everybody gets stoned, everybody gets blown, and I don't give a fuck cause I'm all alone. I got my microphone shooting out the rhymes of stone. I got a magician on the basement, my phone. I gotta keep a rhyming and never timing. I got an iPod uploading the 90s cause I bring it back to the boom bap. Bring it back to the boom bap. A little something like this. If you like what you're hearing, this is Man the Storm featuring Floral Graves. Floral Graves got a record out on Bandcamp. That's a sick album, by the way. Have you ever listened to Brainiac? They're sick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, no, I think I'm going to put it on right now, and it's going to sound amazing with what we're doing here. This is Brainiac, everybody. Keep playing. We're going to mix it up.
Ooh.
It's going to get a little loud, everybody. Hope there's no copyrights on this shit, but we shall see. Can you get that level of beat? If you're just joining us, we are listening to Brainiac, and we're going to play over it, and it's going to be awesome. Hope everyone's having a great day. Thank you for listening and enjoying us. We're having a fantastic time as well. Hope you're having a good Friday. And your Facebook or your YouTube is on in the background and you're doing something. That's what I hope. You know the story about these guys? Oh, it's incredible. This is a great band. And I saw this documentary with Fred Armisen talking about it. Shout out to Fred Armisen if he's listening. All right. I'm into it. Yeah.
Show and the Oddball Foundation is dedicated to mental health advocacy through art.